Welcome to the Boundless Freedom Show. I'm your host, Deborah Chelette-Wilson, and I'm very excited today to bring a wonderful woman who has multiple experiences in helping people get unstuck, which is something that we're all kind of into, getting unstuck and moving forward in our lives. Her name is Sheila Unique, which is a very unique name. And so, Sheila, I'll just turn it over to you. Tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you, Deborah. Yes, my name is Unique. I did marry a man with the last name Unique. That's one of the funniest questions I get, people saying, is that your real name? Anyway, I'm really excited. I'm CEO and founder of the Unique Approach, and it's all about taking those energetic signature patterns, disrupting them, dissolving them, and leaving you in a place of peace inside. I'm a self-empowerment expert, and I'm looking forward to being on your show.
So tell us, how did you get started in this? What was the inspiration?
Oh my. I started way back in 95 working with different physical modalities like the reflexology, and I did colon hydrotherapy for years, and I was working with the physical body, hot stone massage. And then I got to this place in my journey, 2003, where I started to learn about the energetic body. It excited the heck out of me. And on my journey, I went to India for 3 years, and 3 years in a row, I attended the university. And it brought me to where I am today. I consider myself really, really passionate about empowering and inspiring people.
As you work with people, what do you find is, I guess, the number one concern that people have about moving forward in their lives? We kind of get stuck within ourselves. And how do we see that that's really something that we need to pause and take time from all of the busyness that we get into? Because it seems like, especially for women, we don't really put ourselves on our list. So how do you find that with women that you work with?
You know, it's been an interesting journey that as much personal development courses that people take in the workshops and business classes, they still are in a place where they've still got that issue inside. They still got that pattern that's kind of running them. Maybe something that they relate to all the time, or that negative self-talk. And I've really come to appreciate on my own journey that what I most learned when I was in the university in India was that everything is about us in relationship to everything and anything around us. And how we relate to one thing is how we pretty much relate to everything. And that's my message, is more related to when you really work on what's going on inside of you and become more at peace with that, Deborah, though all your relationships transform around you.
Well, that's right. I know that in my own journey, the calmer that I've gotten within myself and the more peace I find in myself, that does trickle out to not only my relationships with other people, but just with my work and just multiple things that I'm doing in my life. And I think that what you're doing to help, men, and I guess you work with women, men and women, to connect to that self and get the disruptive, negative things that don't serve them anymore in their beliefs, to kind of get those out of the way so they can get back to that, I guess, that soulful, what I call the soulful place in us that really has all our answers. They're kind of all in there. They're just all covered up. Is that what you find?
Mm-hmm. And I was just sharing this with another lady the other day. I said, the more all the stuff dissolves, the more it clears, it's allowing my true self to shine. Because the more that we have clarity, like you talked about, the more that there's peace, the more you can hear truth that comes through, the more you can share that wisdom, and it's more global. And I would have to say that's been my experience, just as you've been talking there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes the work, I guess, we both do very exciting.
It does.
Well, is there something how would our audience be able to contact you to find out more about you and the work that you do?
Thank you. My website is theuniqueapproach.com. And on my website, you are more than welcome to enter a draw for a free complimentary session with myself. I would love to work with you. Even to connect with you for a 15-minute consultation would be a gift in itself. I'm excited about inspiring women leaders to move forward, and to more the work I do has to do with clearing a path to those inner obstacles, those things that kind of hold us back.
As you work with women leaders, do you find that more and more women are kind of breaking through things that have kept them stuck, so that they're, the feminine part of who we are is able to be out in the world more, taking more charge of things than maybe we have in the past?
It has been my experience that I am noticing a change in that area. One of the things that has to change most with women is that, we put our nose to the grind and we just go, right? We just go. And then, like you said at the beginning there, we get to a place where, something is not going really well. And I just did a video not long ago, Deborah, where I was sharing with people that, that unrest inside. And I reference the unrest as the world of reactions. Okay, you don't know you have unrest until it surfaces as a reaction. And then maybe you're a little more, upset these days, or lacking patience, or just a little more frustrated. Those are the things that when they surface, it's a gift, because you can be in that moment to recognize, wow, something's going on inside. Something's going on inside of me. Something's coming up to heal. Something's coming up to dissolve. And those opportunities, if they're not dealt with, if they're not really looked at, they will manifest in the physical body. And the physical body gets your attention. And so that's when, unexplainable pains show up. And then, all of a sudden there's a little more illness, or there's, hopefully not, but even disease. When stuff like that surfaces, it gets your attention. If you deal with that unrest before it gets to the physical body, it won't put yourself in that place where all of a sudden that you're dealing with a health crisis. And so how I most explain it, Deborah, would be it hits you out here. You have kind of something that, bugs you. Maybe the way somebody handles a situation, or maybe somebody, it just bugs you. And then if you don't deal with that, it starts to affect you mentally. So now you've got the negative thoughts running through your head, and now you keep thinking about that, and it keeps playing. And so now we not only have it out here, we've got it mentally. And if that's not resolved, that's when it gets to the physical body. Then it has your attention.
Yes, and it's too bad that it takes that long for us to get our attention, but our body is always talking to us. The question, I guess, would be, are we listening? Because what I find in the work I do is that we're really just kind of going around in the world with heads. We're gotten so stressed out and distracted that we're disconnected from our body, which has so much wisdom in it, that we're not paying attention to. And so what I'm hearing is some of the work that you do is to help people connect and start paying attention to their body's innate wisdom, because there again is where we find a lot of answers to our questions.
That's brilliant. And I appreciate you wording it that way, because I truly believe there is so much wisdom in the body, and it's not to be feared. Like, that's the gift that I want to impart to your listeners, your beautiful audience, is that, you know, if all of a sudden you're getting that unexplained pain and, you know, your shoulder disc is really kind of locking up, it's not that the body's falling apart. It's in that moment, whatever's going on for you in your life is expressing itself through the unrest in the shoulder area. And that's what I work with. I've been told I'm a medical intuitive. I can read what's going on in the body, and great. But mostly it's about empowering you, like you said, to recognize there's so much wisdom that is communicated through the pains, through the aches, through the need the 14th cup of coffee today. Okay? Is it about, gotta have my coffee, gotta have, or is it about really recognizing what's causing us to be in that place where we feel so drained? Mm-hmm. So I agree. There's lots of wisdom comes through the body expresses it. And like you said, to me too, it's always working towards 100% health. So anything, like when I worked with people who've had serious diagnosis, those diagnoses change around because you can't see the physical, you can't see inside the body, but the body's still communicating. And you have no idea what's healing through the transformation you experience through the mind, through the emotions, then into the physical. I see a lot of times, Deborah, it's like the body rights itself. Like the body all of a sudden becomes in alignment, and then the pains and the aches disappear. It's magical.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we are these beings that have, you know, not only are we spiritual, but we're mental, we're physical, we're emotional. And if any one of those are out of a balance, then we're going to feel it someplace. So it's, you know, it's really about, I think, learning to embrace the wholeness of who we are and give all of those aspects of ourselves attention when they need it, so that we can manifest, you know, who we truly are, that true self within us out into the world. And it sounds like that's what your people that work with you are able to connect with.
Yeah, and I'm writing a book right now. It's called Your Energy Speaks Louder Than Words. And the book is all about explaining the difference, like how do thoughts impact the physical body? How does your emotion impact the physical body? How do all of those bodies, the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, express themselves energetically? And so what's being communicated? Because you know, there's times you walk into a place and you know something's going down, but you don't quite know because you have a feeling of it. You just have a sense. And I really feel women are getting to the place where they're becoming more educated. They're having a greater sense about what that is. And that's the part that I'm excited to get out into the world, is that whole element.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's so exciting. I'm so happy that we got to have some time together and that I can share your message with my listeners. And is there anything else you'd like to say in closing?
You know, I would say most of all that the most important thing is you really becoming aware about what's going on for you. And you mentioned earlier, Deborah, a beautiful message is that we tend to get caught up in what everybody else is doing, or we need to do it that way because that's how successful is. And if we do it this way, then I'm sure I'll be as successful as them. And I would just invite you more and more every day. Sometimes I've mentioned my story is about going from identical to going to unique. I am an identical twin. And as a twin, I learned everything was the same. I had to do everything the same. And now as I get into my later years, I'm experiencing the uniqueness. So it's no sign. I mean, it's beautiful delivery from the divine to give me that last name. But just to always, always find your own truth in everything that you experience, because we experience our day-to-day life, and always find your own truth to what makes sense for you, because every second offers learning and growing.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Miss Sheila Unique, with your unique message. And this is Deborah Chelette-Wilson with Boundless Freedoms. Be sure to visit our website at boundlessfreedoms.com, where you can see the services and products that we provide. Thank you all, and have a good day. Thank you so much, Sheila. This has been great. We could go on, I can tell.
Thank you, Deborah, for this opportunity to be here with you and your audience.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye.